Boy, having a heck of a time getting the deal set up. Hold on, let me do a little. I gotta sell some product here. Hold on. Okay. Let me find the live feed. There I am. We're going to edit it. Today is March the 7th. Turn these ringers off. So today is Friday. I get my fingers to work. Jesus. March the 7th. And we're going to share it to the internet, share it to videos, memories. Feed, and we're going to share it to the internet. Oh, it just never stops. Margie is in. Margie, it's me and you, I guess. Okay. Okay, so George is in. The best USA Today best of. I gotta get the cameras right. I'm screwed up. Is that good? USA Today best of contest. Let me see if I can still get. There's the twerp stuff. Okay. USA Today best of Major League Baseball stadiums and the food at those Major League Baseball stadiums. When we joined into this, thank you. When we joined into this contest, we do a lot of USA Today contests. The zoo, the haunted houses, the whole rigmarole, because we are proud of Fort Worth and we want to be represented. Brittany's in. So when we started for the best, I don't know if it's called best of Major League Baseball stadiums, we started at 18th with Globe Life Field. We are now in 8th place. We've just been doing this now. This is the 3rd day. So we moved up 10 spots. That's on y'all. Congrats. And the best food, we started off at 16th. We're now in 10th place. We need to keep voting. It's going to go on for another 9 days, I believe. So we got to whittle our way down. This weekend, let's try by Sunday to get down on the best stadium to 5 or below. That's only three more categories we've got to overcome. And in the food, we're at 10th. Let's see if we can get down to, what's a good number for y'all? 6th. Marquita's in. Good morning to everybody. We're in 7th now, and what? In the Major League Baseball, we moved into 7th place. Well, I've got a team of speed voters that have been voting around the clock. I hadn't tried to vote yet this morning because they kicked me off yesterday for speed voting. They sent me a deal saying we will not accept any more votes from this IP address. Well, I'm fixing to load them up with... I brought 4 phones and 2 iPads today. So now Brittany tells me we're in 7th. And we started off at 18th. So we got to keep voting for 9 or 10 days. We got to pull this off so Fort Worth will have another number 1, best of, whatever you want to call it. So keep voting. You out-of-town members and groups, Fort Worth Memories groups that are in different cities or states or countries, get your people voting. There's links running up and down the main group page. So we're eating at Railhead Barbecue tomorrow on Montgomery Street, Charlie Guerin's place. Big Red, no, maybe today, I hope. Those mechanic shops always like to deliver on Friday so they can get their dough and go blow it on the weekends. Okay, so we are now Major League Baseball best of stadiums. We're now in 7th place. We've overcome Wrigley Field in Chicago, Fenway in Boston. We've overcome some fantastic stadiums. And it's because of y'all and other people voting. But our group is the one that's pushing it, I think. Alright, so if we get this pulled through, somebody let Globe Life Field, we want 50 tickets to a game for us doing the work. Just kidding, but it'd be nice. Aaron is in. Good morning. So we are now in the best of USA Today poll for Major League Stadium, baseball stadium, and the food at Major League Baseball stadiums. We started off the contest being in 18th for the stadium. We're now in 7th. 16th for the food. We're now in 10th. So we got a lot of work cut out for us. So turn off those soap operas today and let's get to voting. If you need instructions on how to speed vote, you can message me. I've got other people. I might have Lisa call you, or people that are not working can reach out to you. Yesterday I voted over 700 times, I know. It's going to be beautiful. I think tomorrow we got a chance of rain, but who cares? We've survived through all this other stuff. Well, Scott never came up with it, I don't guess. But I can walk you through it. I guess maybe it's good that we don't put a tutorial on the group page, because then somebody might just contact me, or just contact me. I'll walk you through it. You got to, first of all, if you want to speed vote, and one of the first things that you have to do is install DuckDuckGo. That's a search engine. They don't sell your information like Google and all the rest of these, Safari, all the rest of these search engines. DuckDuckGo. So go to your apps and install that, and then sometime today text me or message me or call me, and I'll walk you through how to do it. I was waiting for Paul Canfield to call me. Paul lives in Oregon. His father was Bill Canfield. Anybody got any idea who Bill Canfield was? Don't everybody answer at once. Michael is in. Michael, you know who Bill Canfield was, don't you? Marquita, you probably know who Bill Canfield was. Aaron, I don't know how old you are. If you grew up in the 60s in Fort Worth, Texas, or pretty close to Fort Worth, you know who Bill Canfield was. Nobody? Brittany, you know, so don't say anything. George, I know you know. Margie, I'm not trying to say y'all are as old as me. I can't believe nobody's guessed it. Bill Canfield. If you grew up in the 60s watching television, you ought to know who Bill Canfield was. And if you live in another city or another state, you won't know. Irma is in. Good morning. Nobody? Y'all gotta be kidding me. Wake up, folks. Okay, if you grew up in the 60s in Fort Worth, on Saturday morning or Friday night, you want to watch a scary show, you see that shirt? Bill Canfield was Icky Twerp. We have these shirts. I'm helping Paul Canfield out, Bill's son. They live in Oregon. And then on Friday Night Nightmare, this stupid thing, there was Gorgon. Guess what? That was Icky Twerp also. So, well, that thing never wants to cooperate, so we won't ask it. So that's who Bill Canfield was. Twerp, yeah, twerp time. Icky Twerp. He kept all of us youngsters occupied so your parents could do other things. So I thought I would get a call from Paul, but he might not have got my message. Anyway, it's twerp time right here in Fort Worth. You want one of those t-shirts? They're $30. Come by the museum. They come in all sizes. That is a memory that we'll all remember. Take it to the grave type memory. Eight. Brittany said we're in 7th on the stadium. Let me look. We're eating at Angelo's. Railhead. Sorry, Charlie. It's 60 degrees right now. It's going to hit 80. Yes, it is going to rain tomorrow. 80% chance. 61 and 80% chance. Well, we've lived through all the rest of this crap, so I'm sure we can live through that. Aaron, you going to join us? It says 80% chance. Irma is in. Marquita is in. Cleburne is messaging. People are asking, how soon can you start donating to Larry's Kids? Right now. Go to larryskids.org or .com. I forget which one. Which is it, Brittany? Do you remember? You go to the website, Larry's Kids, and you can... I don't tweet. I'm sorry. Come On Memories on Facebook. Well, Cleburne. Cleburne doesn't have a question. They want to know, there is somebody in your group in a domestic violence family. I ought to be the poster child for it. Are they on now, live with you or with us? Yes? Okay, no names. I would never mention any names. And what I'm going to say is strictly what I believe, but I grew up in a domestic violence nightmare. When you're below 10 years of age and you're sleeping with a pipe in your bed or a board and then later a gun, you know you're in a bad situation. Every case is different, I believe. One thing I can tell everybody for sure, it's not going to change by itself. You have to do something to make it change. There is a hotline for domestic violence. Let me look it up right quick. I used to know it by heart. National Domestic Violence Hotline. I will share that. Well, so much for that. I'm trying to find their number. The effects of domestic violence on children is huge. I can tell you that. Well, I can't get the phone number. Why wouldn't they list the phone number? They at one time asked me to do Brittany, see if you can get us a phone number. It's National Domestic. How do you spell domestic? Violence Hotline. Okay, so it's okay. It's not painful. I lived it for I still live it. Occasionally at night, I wake up wondering if I'm going to be confronted the next day with a ass whipping. You know, for years I didn't know why my dad would do that to me, and I finally figured it out. He wanted me to be just as a mean son of a bitch as he was. He was miserable, so he wanted me to be miserable. That's the only thing I can figure. You ask for a bicycle, you get a broken jaw. My mom tries to take me to the hospital, the bone's sticking out, he won't let her. So it wasn't until I stole a gun from his room, and when he came in that morning to start a fight, he never came in that morning again to start any more fights, because I pointed that gun right at his nose with the hammer cocked. hand of God. But by that time, I'd already suffered it for years. And another thing I can tell you for sure is you have to reach out to somebody that can do something about it. In my case, that's the only case I can talk about. Neighbors, when we lived close to somebody, neighbors would come over and say, "Hey, we hear you beating that boy." Then he threatens them, so they don't go to the police. The principal of the school passed me, and I didn't even have to go to school in my 11th or 12th grade. He was scared of my dad. So, again, your member or your person, Cleburne, or anybody that listens to this, it will not stop by itself. I promise you that. I don't know the correct way of getting out of it. For me, it started when I was very young, so I couldn't run away. But it'll get to where it consumes every minute of the day that you and that person are in the house together. That I can tell you. I pray every night that other youngsters don't have to go through what I did. I used to wonder, how does the Lord, if there really is a Lord, how does He let this happen? I'm not talking about once a week. I'm talking about a fist fight every morning that he was at home. So when he threatens the principal for me not to go back to school, it's because he didn't want anybody to see the black eyes or the swollen mouth or whatever. And it's a shame when a child 10 years old has to put a gun to his father's head. And believe me, I was ready to pull the trigger. I didn't know any other way out. Luckily, my mom finally divorced him and we got rid of him. But for years, I wondered why. Why would anybody, what did I do wrong that caused that? And I didn't do anything. I was a good kid. He wanted me to be like him. And he was a son of a bitch. His father was that way. And I'm sure if there's any way I could find out, I'm sure his father was that way. I really don't understand how my mom could have married this guy. I guess he fooled her. He never fooled me. He never tried to be nice to me. Never. So really, I always tell people I never had a childhood, and that's a fact. But I made it through. I do believe also you're a product of your environment, and so for the first 27 or 28 years of my life, I was the same way. I did a lot of damage. I spent 2 or 3 years trying to get a hold of people that I hurt. Some people wouldn't even accept a phone call. And I understand it. Because I guess I did to them what he did to me. So, the only thing I can tell you is it will not change by itself. All of the promises, he comes in and sees both my eyes swollen shut and, oh, I'm so sorry. That's bullshit. He ain't sorry. He's sorry I was still alive. But I guarantee you, that was on a Saturday morning. He come waltzing in there to he'd start some kind of fight. What's going on? What'd you do yesterday? He opened that door and bingo, I'm standing on my bed with a gun pointed right at his head, hammer back. So anyway, you have to get out of it. Whether it's a husband, your father, you're married to this person, you're his child or her child, you got to get away from it somehow. So you have to get a hold of somebody that can do something. If you go to the school, they're not going to do anything. I mean, they're going to call somebody. You're talking about channels. Then the abusive person is aware that you're trying to get help, and that just doubles up the regimen of pain. So you have to finally make up your mind that I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not taking it. It can be verbal. It doesn't have to be physical. My dad possessed both attributes. He verbally assaulted my mom every day of her life. Never physical that I knew of. If he would have been physical with my mom, I wouldn't be here today. I'm sure I'd be in the penitentiary. But anyway, so I hope that helps your friend. I think about it often. I always get these images that pop up in my mind because of my gift of having a photographic memory. So I see stuff while I'm asleep, while I'm walking, while I'm talking. Sometimes you look at me and I look like I'm in a daze. I'm looking at a picture in my head and I see him. And it's horrible. So you can reach out. I know for a fact that National Domestic Violence Hotline, when you call them, you need to be prepared because they're going to send somebody. Hell, in my case, the cops knew my dad. Hey, you need to take it easy on Butch. He's raising hell. Shit. That's just a bigger beating. So get help. Call that National Domestic Violence Hotline. But for sure, they can promise all they want. I'm never gonna do that again. It's not gonna change on its own. Never. I'm sure of that. Each case I think is different. I don't know why people are the way they are, but life's too short to be living in an environment like that. So you have to make up your mind and go through with it. And don't be scared if you're young about, well, if I bring people to the fact of what's happening, then I won't have anywhere to live. You'll have somewhere to live. But you got to make the call. That's for sure. Don't do what I did and resort to threatening fear with fear. So I'm sorry for you, and we'll pray for you, because it happens way too often. Too many people, youngsters, adults, that living in fear is no way to live. So, anyway, let's talk about something else. I hope that helps, that you can finally get some help, or try to. Mario is in, Bill's in, Barbara. It's called National Domestic Violence Hotline. They can help, believe me. When you make that phone call, within a matter of hours, you're gonna start to get relief. And don't be scared to tell the truth. If the person that's abusing you threatens you, just make sure you tell that same hotline what's going on. They'll get you out of that situation. Because I've seen it over the years. You go to the school, well, that's a mistake. You go to the school, you go to your teacher, she goes to the office. Well, the office immediately calls the parent. Hey, Larry said that this is happening to him. Oh, no, I'd never do that. Then you get it double fold. So don't live with it. Stop the violence. It's a hell of a way to live. Okay. I think we'll have a new paintless dent repair sponsor on board today, I hope. Talked with a gentleman yesterday evening. We're eating at Railhead Barbecue, 1 o'clock tomorrow. Bring your umbrella. It probably won't rain when it's supposed to. Let me see what... You can get that hour by hour thing. Well, it only goes through 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. I don't know that it'll rain, but it says 80% chance. So, whatever. A little rain doesn't hurt anybody. Okay, so back to our voting. USA Today poll. USA Today runs lots of best of. We've won it for Fort Worth in the zoo one year, 2020. We voted for haunted houses, for a lot of stuff. So right now they're voting for Major League Baseball stadiums. We started off when we got involved as a group being number 18th behind Fenway and the park and Wrigley Field, all of that. We are now number 7, so we've moved up 11 spots. And another one of their contests this go around is the best food or unique food at that same, at your Major League Stadium. We started off as 16th and we are now 10th. So by the weekend, let's see if we can't. We're in 7th. We ought to go down to at least 5th or 4th place. But there's still like 9 days of voting. You can vote 24/7. If you vote the way that USA Today puts it out, you get to vote once every 15 hours or something. We can show you how to speed vote. Yesterday I voted 700 or 800 times. I haven't tried to vote yet this morning. They told me they wouldn't accept any more from my IP address. So let's just check it. You got to have DuckDuckGo as a search engine. Okay. Vote. It took it. So I need to be careful with that today. They're already on to me. But believe me, every city does the same thing. So let's look at time left to vote, 10 days, 2 hours, and 36 minutes. Let's look at the leaderboard. Current leaderboard for best MLB stadiums. The first one's in Philadelphia, Citizens Bank Park. Number 2 is in San Diego. Number 3 is in Pittsburgh. Number 4 is T-Mobile Park in Seattle. 5 is Oriole Park in Camden Yards in Baltimore. Busch Stadium, St. Louis, they're going to be hard to beat, is number 6. Globe Life Field, Arlington, we're number 7. So we're ahead of that That dang Cincinnati's on us already. We're ahead of Detroit. We're ahead of Atlanta's ballpark. Kansas City's. Minneapolis. Wrigley Field, we're ahead of them. Wrigley Field's 13th. We're number 7. Boston's Fenway is number 14. We're number 7. Coors Field in Denver. Yankee Stadium is number 17th. 19th is Dodger Stadium. And top 20 Progressive Field in Cleveland. We are now number 7. We started off, I guess, 2 days ago at number 18. So we need to keep voting. We got 10 more days of voting. And we need to get it whittled down so we can, I don't necessarily want to be in number 1 right now. If we can just get it in striking distance to where on the last 24 hours we're in 2nd or 3rd place, then we need to put a push on. That's when we need lots of speed voters. I can help you, show you how to speed vote. Sherry Holt, if you've got an Android, she can show you how. I don't know how to do it on an Android. I can tell you how to do it on an iPhone. I'm going to see if it'll let me vote again. Vote. Yep, it let me. Okay, so I'm going to go out here and get started at 7:36. Don't forget, Icky Twerp shirts, Gorgon shirts, $30. All sizes. Let me know. Pray that Big Red comes back today. I haven't had my truck in almost a month. But they're putting a new motor in it, so. You can buy a new, one of those startup car companies, Kia or whatever. You can buy a brand new one and have a lot of money left over for what a motor costs for a diesel Power Stroke. Anyway, I'm here. Call me or come by. Yes, we do have plenty of coffee cups. If you need a Fort Worth Memories coffee cup, we got lots of them. $5. We don't do them mail because they weigh so much. It costs more to ship them than it does for the mug. When is spring training? Globe Life Field is also nominated for Best Baseball Stadium Food. Yes, we are. When is spring training? Why can't you just answer it instead of all of this other crap? "2025 spring training will officially begin on Thursday, February 20th. My God, I didn't know they started in February. When is spring training for the Texas Rangers? Why doesn't it just answer what you ask it? I don't have a clue. It won't say. The team opens Cactus League play on Friday, February 21st, whatever that is. The Rangers conclude spring training schedule with a pair of games at Globe Life Field versus Kansas City on March 24th. So we're getting pretty close to them cranking up. Okay, you baseball fans, where's my baseball hat that Robert Rivera? I'll have to start wearing it. Okay, boys and girls, come see me. The museum definitely needs donations. Something's going to have to be done. I don't know what, but in Cleburne, I hope that helped your person. There's no easy answer, but believe me, the only thing that I know for a fact is domestic violence will not stop by itself. I'm not saying that person can't change, but they're not going to do it on their own, because they've gotten away with it for, hell, in my case, my whole life as a youth, from 2 or 3 years old. And it ain't no fun, believe me. And it makes your heart angry with everybody. He accomplished what he set out to do, I believe. So, Pop, if you can hear me, I still think you're a son of a bitch. Okay, I'm gonna sign off, but first I'm gonna do the sponsors. So let's get started here. Spring training. Spring break. If you're gonna stay close, call Yellowstone Horses, Brazos River Ranch, and set up an appointment to take the kids or grandkids horseback riding. You get 2 hours for $75. You don't have to be experienced. Get out of the city. Go enjoy some country life. Dub Peacocks, A-Bird, AC, and Heating. Yes, Dub Peacock is one of them Peacock boys. Poly area. I guarantee it. Infamous. Eric Walsh, Realtor. He's on the board of directors at my bicycle giveaway, Larry's Kids. Wes Williams, associated with Burt Ladner Real Estate. Wes is also on the board at Larry's Kids. Great guy. Wes and Sarah are great people. What's wrong with it? Okay, Coburn's Catering, Steve Coburn. They cater all parties, events, all that stuff. Dickie Carr, Sand and Gravel. Pat and Richard Carr, very active in the community. Richard's nephew is Dickie Carr. Grateful for your trees. This young man does everything to do with trees. Fort Worth Lumber. They're on the South Freeway. 35 South. Building needs, plans, whatever. They're the experts. Brandon Cross, Cross Electric. Brandon was nominated for DFW Favorites. I will share the voting deal. You need to help vote Brandon in. There it is. I'm going to share that DFW Favorites. Cross Electric is Fort Worth Memories. Come on. Vote for Cross Electric. Hold on. I guess the internet's gone out again. What's the hold up? It doesn't matter. AT&T is just as bad as Spectrum. Let me see if it went through. Yeah, it went through. Brandon. Cross. How come it won't pull up what I want? There it is. Okay, moving right along. State Farm Insurance. Jenny Stewart is our State Farm insurance lady. If you're not using State Farm, call and get a quote. You can probably save money. And that's what everybody is interested in. Rex Benson's Old South Pancake House. There's one on University that's open 24/7. There's one in Burleson. They close, 9 or 10 at night. Rex also has Rex's Sports Bar and Grill in the old Macaroni Grill at 1501 South University Drive. I announced our 12th birthday party will be at Rex's Bar and Grill. You can go on the main page to events. Let me see if it's up and running. I think it is. Go to the main page, photos, events. Saturday, July 19th at 11 a.m., Fort Worth Memories 12th birthday party. And I'm sharing it to the internet. Okay. Optimist Club of Fort Worth, Jeff Norman runs the local one here. They do all good stuff for kids. Charlie Guerin's Railhead Barbecue. Charlie is our state rep. He's also on the board of directors at Larry's Kids. We're eating our Saturday lunch. We eat every Saturday at a restaurant local at 1, and we're meeting at Railhead tomorrow. Rains Plumbing. They are a family-owned operation. I've had dozens of great reviews about them. There's Rex's Bar and Grill. That's the premier sports bar in the Metroplex, maybe the state. Tell all these people that Larry sent you. We're getting lots of great reviews about Casey Crawl and his team, men and women that assist people with Medicare and Medicaid. Give them a call. Swartz and Hanson are our architect sponsors. They also are very active in the bicycle giveaway for years. Danny Stroud and his wife have Stroud Auto Supply in the Haltom City Riverside area. G2 Garage is in the White Settlement area. Chris and his team, all you got to do is make the call or bring your car in and you're fixed. Phelps Family Auto Care in the Burleson area. Mike Phelps and his family and their team of experts have been taking care of people that live in Fort Worth, Burleson, all around for years. Fort Worth Florist, Jeanette, if you want to send flowers for funeral, wedding, graduation, I'm sorry, honey, glad we got a divorce, honey, call Fort Worth Florist. Alpha Design and Build is Lance Sanders. If you're thinking about remodeling your house or your business, or you want to add a second story to it, you got to call Lance Sanders. Let him come out and meet with you, and y'all discuss what you want, and he'll get you a plan. Winstead Paint and Body. Clay Winstead is the owner there. I've been doing business with the Winsteads for over 40 years. They're on White Settlement Road, just past Roberts Cutoff. Scott Sumner is our IT guru. He builds websites, technical information, whatever. Scott's a great guy. Don't forget our four-legged friends when it's cold to bring them inside. What? I don't know what that was. People are not let's all have a moment of prayer for the individual that messaged me this morning that's in a domestic violence issue. It's not easy, but the heartache and abuse you've already taken, it gets better once you start getting help. And it's hard to do to somebody that you love, especially if it's your parent or sister or brother, husband, wife. But you got to make the move. It won't stop by its own. It just won't. You can pray for that every day. You're blue in the face. It's not going to stop until you make it stop. Don't do what I did. Somebody said, would you have shot him? What do you think? Okay, boys and girls, gotta go. Love all of you. Don't forget, vote for Major League Baseball Stadium, Globe Life Field, and food at Globe Life Field. And Texas Rangers, if you're listening, y'all could send us some complimentary free passes. We got a large group, 130,000. We can fill your stadium up if it's free. What a great gesture that'd be. If we can get you number one in the food and the stadium, and if you've got tickets left on you don't have to do it the first year, do it later. When you ain't selling too many tickets, call us and say, hey, we got 5,000 seats. Y'all want to come? Hell yeah, we want to come. Especially if you're throwing in a hot dog and a beer. So if you know somebody in the organization of the Texas Rangers, tell them what we're doing. But we don't just help the Rangers or the zoo. You need to help Botanical Gardens. All things Fort Worth or Tarrant County. That's what we're about.